The beginning of the film is shown by a wolf. He is running through the forest. When the wolf ran and reached a place, its cubs also came to it. Then on the other side, 4 vehicles come speeding down a road with fields on both sides. There are some sheep grazing on one side of the field. Wolves and their cubs had come to one side. Then 2 or 3 people who got out of the car took a gun and loaded it. They are forest department officials. They have come there to shoot wolves. When they see them, the wolves and their cubs hide in one area. While the officers are walking slowly with guns loaded with bullets, a wolf is standing in front of them, baring its teeth and snarling. On seeing it, one of them will shoot it down with a gun. As they shoot it down, seeing this, the wolf cub hid in the bush. As the officers turned away after shooting it down, one of them peered carefully into the plants. The wolf cub who was hiding there hid a little further down. When the officers walked back. In the next scene, a little girl is traveling in a car listening to music with a headset. Her father drives the car. Both of them are going to a rural area with beautiful scenery. They went straight and stopped the car in front of a house. The father came out and gave her bag to the girl. When she came with her bag, her father came and opened the door. They have moved to a new house. When the father entered the house and took out the things, he saw the photo of his wife and daughter. His daughter doesn't talk to him much after his wife's death for a few months. The child is still unable to accept that his mother is dead. She is still listening to her mother's song on her headset. She didn't answer when her father took the box full of her books and went upstairs and spoke to her. Dad opened the window and said Uncle Thierry was coming. Hearing that, she looked out the window and ran downstairs. She happily ran to Uncle Thierry. Uncle Thierry got out of the car and hugged her. At night, Uncle Thierry and her father are talking, and she is sleeping on Uncle Thierry's lap. Dad said that after her mother died, she doesn't talk to me. Is coming here a good decision? Her father asks Uncle Thierry. Uncle Thierry said that, of course, everything would be fine, and this house and these beautiful surroundings would help her change. That night, Uncle Thierry is going back. He said, take care, and I will come here every week to see you. The next morning, her father asked her, shall we go shopping? And it is said that you can have a look around this village. After that, her father looks at her. She has moved on from there. She is listening to music with headphones inside the house. Then her father comes to her and says, I am going out. You want to come with me? Or you want to be alone in this big house? You just have to decide what you want, he said and went out. She sat there and thought for a while, then took her hat and bag and came out to join her father. They traveled in a jeep for a while, and walked through a meadow and a forest and reached the top of a hill. After going there, her father was sad for a while, saying that me and your mother love to come here, and we used to come here from time to time. Then she hugged her father and calmed him down. Then they both started walking down again. Father realized that he had lost his way when he was walking a long way through a meadow. He looked at the map. He crossed a wire fence and reached the side of the house. There are donkeys and a man standing inside that house. Seeing him, her father went there saying that we have come the wrong way. The householder gave them water to drink. Then she went again to the donkeys. Seeing that, her father asked him, is it okay? He said here you only need to be afraid of humans, and you don't need to be afraid of animals. While they were talking, she went to a shed near the house and looked. There is a small creature sleeping in a small basket. She sat next to it and stroked it slowly. By that time, the owner of the house came to her. She asked the owner of the house what its name. Then the owner of the house said its name is Mystery. Then she looked at the animal and said, hello Mystery, I'm Victoria. The owner of the house picked it up and said it was a special kind of creature. Then he said that this is a gift from the forest and handed it to her. The landlord is taking his father and Victoria back. Victoria puts Mystery in a bag on her lap. As they drive with Mystery, a wolf watches from a distance. After going some distance, came to Victoria's father's car. They got into it and thanked the owner of the house. Victoria and her father returned home in their car. When she got home, Victoria brought the creature into the room without her father seeing it. Then he took it out from inside the bag. Then Victoria heard the sound of her father coming into the room and closed a small cardboard box near it. Her father called Victoria to eat. Mystery somehow got out of the box when Victoria left the room. Then he sniffed there and started walking. The next day, Victoria is going to her school. Before leaving, she put Mystery in a basket and placed it on the shelf. She hid it so her father wouldn't see it. She put Mystery in the cupboard and got into the car with her father, saying, you sit here, we'll see you later. Her father brought her to a new school. Father sent Victoria to class. On the way out, another woman had come to take her child to school. Victoria's father and she met. The woman asked Victoria's father about his wife. When he told her that his wife had died, she apologized to him. The woman's name is Hannah. Victoria's father's name is Stephen. At the same time, Mystery came out of the cupboard at home. He's over there nibbling on Victoria's dolls. He bit off all the cotton from the dolls and pulled them out. Victoria and her father came back home from school in the evening. She got out of the car and ran into the house. Uncle Thierry called his father on the phone and asked, "How are things going?" Stephen said things are a little better now and she talks to me now. Stephen calls Victoria downstairs for snacks. Stephen was very happy when she replied that I will come now. Victoria has picked up her toys and is talking to Mystery. Then Father came to the room to take her dress to wash. Then Mystery is sitting under a table. Father took all the clothes and was going back when suddenly he heard a sound. Hearing that, her father came back to the room and saw Mystery standing behind Victoria. Her father saw it and asked her what it was. Victoria takes Mystery in her hand and says it was gifted to me by the uncle on the farm. She told her father that we can grow it here. Seeing her father looking suspiciously, she pleaded with her father. Stephen asks Victoria what the uncle at the farm told you to give it to you. Then Victoria said that this was a gift from the forest. When her father came near, Victoria said, "Mystery needs a family, father." Hearing that, father said, "Mystery, welcome to our family." Victoria was very happy to hear that. She thanked her father. Then father said you should take care of him. So Victoria started playing with Mystery. Victory is looking after everything Mystery. He even sleeps with Victoria at night. Victoria goes to school and tells her friends about Mystery. Stephen presents her with a belt to tie around Mystery's neck. She tied it around Mystery's neck. Victoria Mystery will be around all the time at home. So one day Victoria came to her school with Mystery. All the friends looked at Mystery in surprise. She left Mystery to her father and went to class. Then Hannah came there. Hannah asked Stephen what breed Mystery was. Stephen didn't know about it. Hannah works in the conservation department. She looked at Mystery closely. Hannah said see you later and left. As Stephen walks back from school, a few people are holding placards and protesting on the road. Farmers lose their sheep because of wolves in the area. In order to find a solution, they are protesting to kill the wolves. Among them was the officer who had shot the wolf. He took out a notice and handed it to Stephen. Then he noticed Mystery in the next seat. In the next scene, Uncle Thierry comes home. Victoria talks to me now, Stephen says to Uncle Thierry. She no longer has nightmares at night. After that, they talked about Mystery. When Stephen Thierry was asked what breed he was, he said probably a husky. Then Victoria came there with Mystery. That night they all ate together. Victoria now has a lot of changes. She has now started talking and behaving happily. After eating, Victoria comes to the room and pats Mystery to sleep. Victoria looks at her mother's photo, and Mystery asks, "Where is your mother?" At that time outside their house, that big wolf, Mystery's mother, was standing there looking at the house. The next day, when Stephen was returning from the store, Hannah came over. When she asked what breed Mystery was, Stephen said it was a husky. Hannah said, "I don't think it's a husky." She went over to Mystery and checked it out. And then she said, "I don't even think it's a dog. It will be a dog or a wolf." Stephen said that it is not likely to happen. As he put Mystery in the Jeep and started to drive away, Hannah followed him and told him that if it's a werewolf, it's dangerous to leave him with Victoria. Then Stephen said that there is no problem and left with the Jeep. In the next scene, the officers are running after the wolves again. They saw the wolf's footprints in the sheep pasture. Then he started walking that way. Mystery woofing loudly from their house. Hearing that sound, his mother would run and look at that house. Stephen made a kennel for Mystery. Victoria was very happy to see that. At that time the officer came outside the house. When Victoria and Stephen come to look after hearing the sound, he looked around and went back out. That night, Stephen tells Victoria to go to bed. Then Victoria took Mystery with her. Then Stephen said to her that you did not sleep with Mystery as you promised me. Hearing that, Victoria said Mystery would be scared if I wasn't there. Stephen kicked Mystery out of the room and put him to bed. Then he said to her that Mystery is big, and you don't need to sleep with her. By that time, Mystery came there and started playing with her. Then Victoria said to her father, "Look, Mystery can't sleep without me. Please let him sleep here with me." The next day, Victoria and Stephen are going on a trip with Uncle Thierry. They get out of the car and walk away through the forest. Mystery is running ahead of them somewhere. Victoria runs after Mystery. Then Mystery's mother, the wolf, was watching them from a distance. When Victoria chased Mystery and went some distance, Mystery's mother wolf was standing behind a tree staring at Victoria. Seeing it, Victoria stood motionless in fear. Stephen and Uncle Thierry saw this and slowly walked behind. He asked Victoria to walk back slowly and quietly. She was scared and slowly took a step back and came to her father. The wolf watched them. After a while, Mystery came there. Mystery and the wolf looked at each other. Victoria tells Mystery to come to her. Mystery the wolf stared at for a moment. Then he turned and ran away. Mystery turned and approached them. Stephen took the car and went straight to the lab where Hannah was. They come to the lab to check if Mystery is a dog or a wolf. Hannah got the results and after talking to the doctor came out. Then he told Stephen that there is no doubt that Mystery is a wolf. Hearing that, Stephen said that there is nothing wrong with it and we are ready to raise it. Now Uncle Thierry says that is not what they mean. There is a chance that Mystery will attack us at any moment. Hearing that, Hannah probably wouldn't attack. But if the farmers here know this, it will be a big problem. Afterwards, Hannah spoke to Stephen. Just send Mystery to any natural reserve. Stephen asked her which nature reserve she was going to send it to. She said any natural reserve in Holland. Hearing that, Stephen said that my daughter should always see it. Hannah asked Stephen, don't you understand the seriousness of what I'm saying? Asked that. Stephen certainly understands, but you must also understand that my daughter cannot lose sight of Mystery. By that time, Victoria came there and told her father that we should go. Hannah wrote her number on a piece of paper and gave it to Stephen and said Mystery can stay with you for one more day. But tomorrow you will definitely have to give it up. Stephen thanked Hannah and left. Stephen Thierry sent his uncle away. The next day, Stephen arranged a room for Mystery in a small room at the side of their house. They locked the door saying that Mystery will be safe here. The next day the sheep are all grazing in one place. On one side of it stands Mystery's mother, the wolf, watching over the flocks of sheep. After a while, it ran towards the flock of sheep, attacked one, while Victoria was talking to Mystery. You will be safe here and you will not have to go anywhere. She kept telling Mystery that we will always be together. When Mystery came out, Stephen came running and put it in the room. When he came out, a forest department officer came and stood in front of him with a car. Stephen asked him if he wanted any help. He tells Stephen that there is a wolf roaming around the area, and that it has attacked 2 sheep and that you should beware if you have any animals in your home. Stephen said that we don't have any animals in our house. Then he said, I remember you have a dog with you. Stephen heard it and said it was there before and not now. Stephen told us that he was going out and got into the car with Victoria. Then the officer said that if the wolf is seen in this area, the information should be reported. Then Stephen hurriedly got into the car and drove to Victoria's school, saying that if he saw it, I would let him know. Halloween celebration is going on in the school. Stephen is there too. Meanwhile, the officer came to Stephen's house and searched there. Mystery opened the door to the closed room. Seeing Mystery standing there, the officer got scared and backed away. Then he told the person who was with him that a wolf has been hidden here. The next day the cops come to take Mystery to Stephen's house. Stephen consoled Victoria. The cops come and drag Mystery away and Victoria runs after him crying. Stephen ran over and forcefully held her back. Victoria runs behind them crying, saying he is my friend and he will never attack me. By the time she got there, they put Mystery in a cage and were about to leave. After everyone had left, Victoria ran to her room, crying. Then she watched through the window as they went in the car with Mystery. Victoria sleeps that night, dreamed and cried. Hearing that, Stephen came and calmed her down. Victoria put on the headset again and started listening to her mother's song. She no longer talks to her father. At that time Uncle Thierry came there with Christmas presents. That night while they were talking together, Victoria walked away and touched the tree that had Mystery written on it and said, I miss you. Then Mystery's mother, the wolf, climbed up a mountain and looked around. The next day a meeting was held between the officials and the farmers there. Stephen came there with Victoria. Seeing them, everyone looked at them with a question mark. Then Stephen told my daughter what was going on here, that she believes wolves don't hurt people. She needs to know the truth and that's why I brought her here. There was a fight between the officials and the farmers. Hannah and his friends argued that it was wrong to mass kill wolves like this. Hearing that, the farmers said that we can only protect our sheep, so if you don't kill the wolves, we will have to take guns. Victoria was scared after hearing all this. Hannah tells Stephen that they are right and they have lost a lot of sheep. Stephen returned with Victoria. In the car, Victoria asks her father why he let Mystery raise wolves if he doesn't like raising them. Hearing that, Stephen said, I thought it was a dog. Then Victoria said, I already knew he was a werewolf. Then Stephen said, if I had known that it was a wolf, I would not have agreed to it. When Stephen says that raising wolves is dangerous, Victoria says that Mystery is never dangerous. The next day Victoria came out of the classroom and saw Mystery standing at the gate of the school. She calls him Mystery and happily goes to him. After that, they started walking. Victoria is walking into a forest with Mystery. After a short distance, Mystery started running faster. When they reached a place, they both started playing. Mystery showed his love by licking Victoria's face. They both started walking again. Mystery was walking in front and Victoria was walking behind. Mystery ran and reached the top of a snowy hill. They both started walking over the hill. After a short distance, Victoria started to feel uncomfortable with the cold. Mystery was running fast. Meanwhile, Uncle Thierry and Stephen were standing in a restaurant when Hannah came there and told them that Mystery had escaped from them. When Hannah asks where Victoria is, Stephen says she's at school. Then Stephen got a phone call from school. Stephen says Victoria is missing from school. I got information that she was seen somewhere else with a dog. I am going there. Then Hannah said, "But I will inform the police." Stephen walked over the snowy hill in search of Victoria. Then Mystery is running on top of the mountain. Victoria is walking behind him with difficulty. Stephen is looking for them the same way they went up. Victoria reached the top of the hill. It is very cold there. When Stephen reached the top, all he could see were snow-capped mountains. Victoria and Mystery walked to the top of a snowy hill. When he got there, there were many other wolves. Victoria was brought here to show him to his family. Stephen walked and reached the top of the mountain. Suddenly, he saw Mystery standing on top of a stone. Mystery started running again when she saw Stephen. Running to show her where Victoria was sitting, Stephen finally saw where Victoria was lying down. She is lying under a tree. Stephen runs over and knocks over the frozen Victoria. Stephen will take her down the mountain. The visibility was decreasing due to the snow cover. Mystery stood on top of a rock and watched them walk away. They sought shelter in someone else's house nearby. Hannah and Uncle Thierry came to the house. They ate together. At the same time, forest department officials are walking outside with guns to kill the wolves. Victoria and Stephen were standing outside the house talking, and Mystery was watching them outside. Victoria runs off happily seeing Mystery. Stephen tells her to stop, but she ignores him and runs towards him. Mystery also ran towards her. Seeing this, the forest department officer who was standing there shot Mystery. When Stephen saw this, he ran away screaming. After some time, the forest department officer saw Victoria running there. Victoria runs next to Mystery and starts crying. Stephen comes to Victoria and checks on her and asks if you are okay. Then he hugged her. Then he went and hit the officer on the cheek. They all went inside the house with Mystery. Stephen then pulled out the bullet that had penetrated Mystery's body. Victoria is sitting outside with her Uncle Thierry. When Stephen came out after a while, Victoria asked Stephen, did he save him? Stephen said yes. Victoria hugged Stephen happily. Then she went inside to see Mystery. The next day, Hannah came to Stephen and showed him a paper saying that she got a consent letter to send Mystery to the valley where they live. Mystery is back to normal now, with Victoria sitting next to him. The next day, Victoria took Mystery to the top of the snow mountain. Behind her are Hannah, Stephen, and Uncle Thierry. Halfway through, Victoria undid the belt around Mystery's neck. Then Victoria tells him one thing. You can never stay with humans. It's too dangerous for you. And I can't come in live with wolves. So go live with your family. I will never forget you. She sent him away. Mystery runs away with his family far away. After that, Victoria walked to her father in distress. Stephen asks her, are you okay? And she says yes, let's go home. Stephen took her hand and returned home. Meanwhile, Mystery was happily running and playing with his family on the hill. This movie ends here. Make sure subscribe and turn on notification so you can watch more video like this.